Hello, so I will open the Stockbridge Bowl Stewardship Commission meeting for August 8th, 2024. It's 5:30. So we will accept the minutes from July 11th, 2024. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Second. And because many of you that vote are on Zoom will have to do roll call vote, please.
Okay, I, Don.
Hi, Gary. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Michael.
And where's Sally?
Sally has vanished.
All right. All right.
Where's Sally?
She's gone now.
All right. So
Lori.
updates and announcements. So updates. I have a couple of things. So here is some maps. So a solution or a proposal from Parks and Rec and Michael Canales about, as we had talked about, the zebra mussels, and trying to contain all of the zebra mussels and what to do best. So the idea is, here, Lois, you can come, is to move the kayak racks, those beautiful new kayak racks, and bring them over. There's an area over on Lake Drive where the new bridge has been installed. There's plenty of room there. We put all the racks there, and that way we don't have people who come swimming, pull, and I've seen this last year and this year, pull their boards off their cars or their kayaks and bring them down to the swimming area. It happens over and over again. There's no way to manage it. And so this would be a great, and it would keep traffic, so there'd be parking for the swimmers. The children would be, the kayaks and the paddle boards would not be in the way of the swimming area. And it would just stop the confusion. So either go to the official zebra mussel station at the boat ramp or over on down by the outlet. So that is being a proposal by the Parks and Rec and Michael Canales. So I wanted to bring that up so everyone can think about it. Nothing will be decided tonight, at least. Well,
Yeah, I think so.
Jamie, if I'm not mistaken, this is Sally. If I'm not mistaken, it says no swimming down there.
I'm sorry, Sally, where?
She's saying down at we're talking about it at the waterfall area.
By the waterfall area?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the boat ramp. I'm
No.
in the Adirondacks and my.
That's okay. I
It's a little limited.
that's okay.
This is me.
This is just an idea. And so Park and Rec.
This is the waterfall. The waterfall's right here.
Okay.
This is waterfall, I'm sorry.
As I just said, the issue is that people come from out of town and they're parking their cars at the swimming area and they're taking their boards and their kayaks off their car and putting them in the water. They are not rinsing them. We don't know where they've been. They don't care. And if we are going to contain the zebra mussels and keep our lake clean, this is one way to do it. If people are unwilling to go over to the boat ramp, to go to the zebra mussel station or check in, it's at least the racks are all in one place so that it's, and it discourages, then we can put up a sign at the swimming area saying no boat launches. We can't do that right now because we have the racks at the swimming area. And
There is a sign.
yeah,
by
but
the
you
road.
can't say
Yeah.
no because and that's what the loophole people are using. So,
Can we ask
but this
questions?
isn't,
Yeah.
of course, but this wasn't a decision-making time. It was to give information, to think about it. And, because it's not going to happen for at least a year, if it were to happen. So, but it's at least to get everyone thinking about ideas to mitigate that problem.
Can we ask questions?
You can, I don't,
Gary, you had?
And
I would poll the people that have their kayaks up there now because I think they're gonna be a bunch of hornets. I think they're gonna be very upset.
we have to do what's best for the lake.
Yeah.
And also do the best for the most, not just a couple of loud people.
I mean, but the kayak rack over by the boat ramp.
No, it's a state-owned area, so we can't.
Okay, nobody.
So the other
It's a
one,
long haul from here. I kayak this frequently. This is a long haul from here.
After the lake.
Part of the lake.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Can I say as, not as a member of the commission, but as probably the primary butter to this, if I understand where this is. Yeah, this is very interesting. This is the first time I've heard about it. I'd be interested in hearing about it further. You know, I mean, we don't know. They're saying, we're thinking about this, so I think that's.
Yeah.
The concern is that these kayaks are not getting inspected.
No, the people are bringing their outside kayaks, but they see kayaks there.
Right, like they do at the boat ramp. People will,
yeah, but at the boat ramp, they're stopped by the zebra mussel station. And
If there's
what
somebody,
the loophole at the swimming area is, people see the kayaks on the racks or they see the kayaks and the paddle boards in the lake. And they're just like, oh, I'm going to do that too. And you know, I've been at the swimming area. There are some people who do not follow the rules. And so you have to try to mitigate it as best as.
Okay.
no, but I agree. This is, if your goal is to be on the lake, this is pretty far away.
True. It's,
Jamie?
yes,
Jamie.
Mike.
Hi, good afternoon. When you say swimming area, I don't know, of course, I'm not there, which I feel very strange being so far away. I'm in Canada. But when you say swimming area, do you mean the swimming area at the beach?
The public
At the
swimming beach.
Or at the swimming beach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what okay, thank you.
All right. So the other thing is, I reached out to Kevin, or some of you know him as Moose, about the zebra mussel dogs. And I got an email back from Leah, his wife, who works she is a certified professional dog trainer, and she had sent this email. So I'll read it because she could not come because of her work. Hi, Jamie. Kevin forwarded your message to me regarding training dogs for scent detection of invasive species. I compete in scent work trials with both of my dogs and have been involved in the sport and training for about 8 years. I have never trained my dog or anyone else's to detect invasive species. The training and principles are the same, and it would not be difficult to introduce a new odor to a dog who understands odor obedience. It would probably take several weeks for the dog to be ready to search for the new odor in a controlled practice setting. We know if and where there are mussels on an item and can see if the dog is correct to 90% of the time. Good samples of zebra mussels in all life stages, both in and out of different waters, dried up samples too, and on different surfaces, boat bottoms, oars, ropes, etc., would be needed to help the dog generalize. Remember, everything has a scent, so we need to help the dog differentiate which scent she is alerting us to. So yes, it can be done, but the problem I see for Stockbridge Bowl is volume. You cannot have a dog hang around for 8 hours and maybe search 3 boats and find nothing and expect them to stay motivated about the job. They would do best to have short times to come in and search a bunch of items or boats and find mussels at least once per shift. So that might mean planting the mussel odor on something so they have success. Or, for example, when someone from Canyon Ranch arrives with 12 paddle boards on a truck. That would be a time to search. Although keeping zebra mussels out of the bowl is a big priority, I don't believe the volume of boats that come to the lake warrant changing from our current system of boat monitor who will wash or power wash any boat in question to paying to have a dog on duty. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you or the committee may have, but I'm not available as I work Wednesday through Friday evenings. So please email me at this address, my best, Lee. And I can share the address. So I have that information. I can give it to the secretary.
Sure.
What else do I have?
Jamie,
Yes, Sally.
I know Leah for years, have known her for years. She has a wonderful trainer. She has amazing search dogs. She is certainly somebody that we need to listen to.
Okay, great.
Can I suggest that we invite her to address us at some time? Maybe we need to have a different time of a meeting or something, something like that, so we can talk to her and ask her questions.
Yes.
Does that sound reasonable?
See,
So we'll extend an invitation, work something out, maybe.
All right. So a question came up about abutters. Is this a violation? No, it is not. The other thing is I asked you about signposts for Lake Drive and I haven't heard.
They're done.
You? Oh,
I delivered them this morning.
great. Thank you. And what else did I have? Okay. And your letter, do you want to, remember we were going to review your letter? You were going to,
Yeah, I wasn't sure which letter you were referring to. Which letter were you referring to?
last meeting, you had a couple and you said you're going to rework.
Oh, okay.
Bring them back.
So the question was, do we have questions? Do we have legal questions as a commission? And if so, do we want to invite the town council in? We can have an executive session. We could have an open session. We could not do it all if everybody's comfortable. That's all.
Okay.
Me personally, I have some legal questions, but you know, I can sit on them. I'm not too excited about them.
All right.
You
And
know, how do other abutters feel? Abutters? Michael,
This is the issue about the abutters being on this committee,
what's that?
about abutters being on,
someone brought it
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like that information about the lake and not having anybody that involved on the lake doesn't make a lot of sense.
We are also only advisory.
Yeah.
We do not, the select board votes on whatever we might propose. We do not enact something and turn it into action.
Yeah.
I think
With me,
What Rachel is saying, exactly what I was going to say. We're just an advisory group. Don, your situation, which absolutely, actually, I agreed with you in a way on when you were that it wasn't a great idea to have whatever they did, but we are just an advisory group. And we don't make any decisions. We can just recommend something, but so I don't think we should get into legalities because it's a very different situation for us than a leader of a town or someone.
I suggest, sounds good, and I suggest we move on.
all right.
let's drop it.
And Charlie Kenny can come next meeting, August 22nd, because he had said he wanted to talk about the cyanobacteria group. And SBA had its annual meeting at the Mount last Saturday, August 3rd. I hope it was successful. I was away.
It was very good.
Good. And that's all I have for announcements. Is
I
there-
had something. We brought up last time swimmers.
Oh, the football.
Thank you. And we left it sort of thinking about what we can do, and I thought a little bit about it. How much do these footballs cost? I mean,
They're inexpensive.
they're cheap.
You get them.
Probably under
You
30.
get them online,
$25, $30.
you know, maybe we can do a promotional thing, maybe at the boat launch or at the beach, you know, have a bucket
A lot
of,
of people are using them now.
have a bucket of
They are using,
footballs.
I see a lot of them I see a lot of them. There are people who don't use them, but I do see a lot of the footballs being
Yeah.
used.
There's one person every morning early on who's out in the middle of the lake with nothing.
Really?
And
Lives
they're,
down the middle of the lake and back at like 7 o'clock in the
You see
morning.
them and then you're in your.
Well, I'm in my bed. I'm in my pajamas.
Get out there, Tom.
Yeah, get out there, Tom.
Yeah, maybe we could get a bunch of these footballs and, you know, you do them as promotion and give them out somewhere in the beach.
Yeah, they could,
Or-
they can go on, you know, it's very easy to go online and get them. I don't think we need to give anything away.
All right.
I mean, do we have signage?
What's that?
Do we have signage at the beach?
One of the
and at
rules is
the-
you're not supposed to swim outside the 300-foot mark without a
Right.
safety boat, and we amend that or
Oh,
football.
yeah. I mean, but is there a notice of that where people can see it when they
boat
get in
ramps.
at the boat ramp? How about at the beach? Maybe we need one there.
Probably not.
That's the other place they go in.
they also go in by White Pines. I see a lot of
Yeah.
people go in by the White Pines Beach. There's a woman who goes every day around 5 o'clock, and I think she's reading off her iPhone. And she literally just walks back. and
Oh, that guy, yeah, that's the guy, that's the old guy. It's
Oh,
New
it's a
Yorker
man?
magazine.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a man. They're New
Oh,
Yorker
okay.
magazines. I asked.
Oh, okay.
Good
Now I
times.
know-
Oh, that's,
Now I know. You could tell how great my eyes are because I thought it could have been a woman. So don't tell him.
He actually stopped because he got an infection
oh,
Oh,
really?
in his foot.
Oh, that's-
I saw him,
Bacterial infection
I saw
From
him,
the lake?
from the lake.
yeah, I saw him last week.
That's,
He's back again, yeah. He walks around like up to his neck in the water.
Yeah.
Reading
With a hat.
in the paper.
He walks around
And I
with
have-
his,
Yeah.
like, and I asked.
does he wear like Tevas or anything? No? He just
No.
walks around?
And he folds them up in some way that they don't get wet.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
It's tiny, which it looks like a little cell phone. That's how tiny. it
What?
is.
That's
Whatever he called it.
hilarious.
It needs to be a story in the Eagle one day.
Oh my God,
I
that's,
see
Even
him every
actors.
day. He does it every day.
Yeah. He said they're all
I've
New Yorker
seen-
magazines he gets.
Say,
That's what he
I've
reads.
seen people swimming across the lake without a boat, without any kind of float, without anything.
Yeah.
At the same time that the boat, the airplane, the seaplane
Oh.
that comes
They're like
and
landing.
lands on the lake periodically from the Great Barrington Airport as their practice, which I think is potentially extremely dangerous
I
and
agree.
something that we need to think about.
Do we have any say over that?
No.
mm-mm.
Does the select board?
Not unless we, not unless we go through the same process we went through to eliminate the jet skis, which is it has to be proposed to the legislature and they have to agree with it. But I think there's going to be a catastrophe at some point.
I agree.
Okay,
Hmm.
any other announcement?
No, I mean, I think the only thing you can do about that is educate people somehow.
How are you gonna educate them?
Well, you
We'll
put
talk to
articles
the
in the
lake
paper or you,
associations.
What?
We can talk to the lake associations, the SBA, and we'll try to get them to, you know, at their annual meetings to let people know, don't go
Get the word
swimming
out.
unless you
Yeah.
have a football or a boat with you. So other than that,
yeah, and if there's not a sign at the beach, then maybe there needs to be one.
we can make up a set of lake rules, maybe put them on the back of the lifeguard stand.
Mm.
Speaking of signs, is there any effort or any progress in getting a sign for the boat ramp?
Yeah, I left a message with, at the town garage for Hugh and he hasn't gotten back to me yet, but
Right, because we're telling people at the beach to launch their boats at the boat ramp. So telling them to go over there and then there's no sign, says this is the boat ramp. So
That shouldn't be hard to do. Get a sign saying this is the boat ramp,
Yeah.
talking to Hugh.
huh?
I'll talk to Hugh about it. He did the one up at Town Beach.
Yeah,
And if we can just make that double faced and stick it up near the
of
road.
course.
Okay, so the other, Gary, do you have any zebra mussel station updates?
Now, we're just running along as usual. We're pretty 99% staffed,
Okay.
so far. So, so far so good. I've just been filling in whenever somebody's been sick. But, we've had good coverage.
Okay.
It's not as busy as it's been in past years, though.
That's what it seemed like. It seemed quieter this year.
I noticed, I think just before COVID, we had around 7,500 launches that year. And then it dropped off, and last year we had 5,000. Although we didn't have the Josh, so that was, pretty good number.
Okay. So we are at the Constitution of Officers, which is why I think attendance is high. So I want to say, just out loud for myself, that I never said that I was going to step down, though I felt that there was something working behind the scenes, but I am busy and I have read the emails, but I will abstain from voting. And there's enough of a quorum to, so those who want to be chair should make their pitches, and we will do a roll call vote. And whoever gets the most votes, you can only vote once, will win.
Do we have to nominate, Jamie?
I probably,
so.
probably yes.
Michael,
Go ahead, Michael, Nathan.
Yes, good. I would like to nominate Rachel Rivest for this position as the SBSC chairperson. I believe she's very qualified. Her background, her science background, and her interest in the major projects that we're working on, such as the restoration project. And basically, and all the projects that we've been talking that are very important. She's been to the meetings when we were looking at the invasive species. She was at the meetings. She was one of the only ones from Gary, and Rachel and I were really the only ones basically there for this education. But I would like to put her name in nomination for this position. I have written the whole thing, but I think her qualifications are perfect for this job. And she doesn't have to be, one last thing is she's a non-voting member, but that doesn't disqualify her from being the chair.
Any other nominations?
Yes, I would like to. This is Sally. I think, Jamie, you've done a fine job and I would like to renominate you.
Oh, thank you, Sally. Any other nominations? Seeing none,
Could we
we'll,
nominate, I'm sorry, could we nominate if we're not a member of the committee?
no.
No? Can I ask a question? Do you
Yes.
have to be a resident in order to be
No,
the chair?
I
No?
You
don't,
have to- Don't
you have to be a part
resident?
of the meeting. You have to be a part of the group.
Okay. And you don't have to be a resident to be on the commission.
Mm-mm. Mm,
And there have been
I'm not a resident, but I'm a non-voting member.
right.
So I don't know
Right.
whether, it seemed to me that you should be a resident to be a voting member. I would think.
And,
Who
and it
just-
seems
who
like
just
most
spoke?
people are.
Wait, Anita's
most people-
asked,
I'm sorry. Most people are abutters, so I don't see why that was even questioned. Just saying it gives you more insight into what's been going on in the ball. So I can't nominate. Okay.
thank you, Anita.
Yeah, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to say,
Could nominate himself.
yeah, you can nominate yourself if you want, but before I put my name in and I wrote these letters, I called Jamie. And I asked her if she was going to run again, if she was interested in continuing as the chair. I didn't hear back, so as a result, I put my name in. I presumed she was not. But if she is willing to continue as chair, I think she's done a commendable job. And being a member of the select board, I think is very helpful. And I would second the nomination of Jamie and withdraw my own letter of interest. So.
All right, so this puts us,
I would like to support Rachel. I think she has such an appropriate background for this committee, which I think is so important, and she has the time to devote to chairing this committee. I think that makes a lot of sense. Having nothing to do with Jamie, I think you've been great, but I think Rachel is a perfect fit to lead this committee forward.
okay. So what we have to do is a roll call vote, and it's a little awkward because it has to be, so we have to take the personalities out of it and just, it's factual. So,
Since you're nominated, why don't I take the roll call vote?
yeah, so there you go.
Oh. Let me see. Don votes for Jamie.
Okay, you have to first sort of set it up and then so people
What?
know. I would set it up so people know like who's, oh, yeah, I see what you're gonna do. No,
Yeah, I was
no.
just gonna go.
You're in charge. No, you can.
Gary,
Let's put Jamie down.
Jamie,
I vote for Rachel.
Louis, we skip. Rachel, we skip.
Rachel, we skip.
We go to Lori.
Lori,
I will vote for Rachel.
And then we have Michael.
Michael.
I
Michael,
will vote for Rachel.
And then Sally.
what did he say? He said
Rachel.
Who said Rachel?
And then Sally.
I vote
Sally?
for Jamie. Jamie,
So I think it's tough.
So we have a tie. Let me see. What does the Constitution of the United States say about it?
Co-chairs.
Huh?
Co-chair.
Why aren't you allowed to vote, Jamie?
Huh?
Well, I feel like it's,
Oh, did you vote?
no.
Oh, you could, come on, man.
But I
feel like,
want to say something about someone from the select board being chair of this advisory board, because this is an advisory board to the select board, and having it run by a member of the select board, whether it's Jamie or Patrick or whoever, means that that person essentially gets to vote twice. And I think there's a conflict. I think I have an issue with that, and it's separate from whoever is on the select board in this here.
It's allowed. There are other conflicting situations that I'm familiar with.
I'm not talking about legalities, I'm just saying
Other organizations that deal with the same subject as us, but the select board is not, if there's a conflict, she can recuse herself at any time. Well,
I actually disagree.
Sally.
I disagree with Rachel's position
Oh,
on this, because I have found over the years, I've served on the Conservation Commission, I think, for 30 years, and have seen various members of the select board serve on the Conservation Commission
Right.
at the same time serving on as serving as a selectman. And it's been my experience in general that having that conduit to the select board and having the real not having the select board have to read minutes, but having an actual person being able to say, okay, so this is what the discussion was all about, and this was the conclusion that they came to, and this is why. I found that to be extremely useful.
Absolutely. I agree.
Okay. Then I will vote for myself.
Okay. Congratulations.
All right, it's a little awkward, I
It's
feel.
not awkward at all.
Are we gonna?
Oh, and
vote
then
for
vice chair. So I think I would nominate Don to continue if he would be willing.
Yes, I'm willing to continue as vice chair and secretary, if that's okay with everybody.
Does
Hey, I
anyone
got
else
all the
want to
names
be
spelled
vice
right this
chair?
time, everybody.
Does anyone
All
else
the names are
want
spelled right
vice chair?
this time. Did you notice it? What?
Great.
Does anyone else want vice chair?
No,
Okay. Does anyone want secretary?
no.
I get it. I guess I
Alright.
get it
So Don, you want
by default.
by default. So our next meeting is, I wrote it down, August 22nd. Charlie will be here and he will talk about cyanobacteria. And then any other things we need to bring up at that next meeting.
I know at some point, the bylaws say we do this twice a month for the summer.
Yeah.
Is that go into September or does that,
September.
and then it's back to once?
And then, I guess we can bring up at this time, do we need to change the date or time? Is
Of which meeting?
this meeting,
Of this,
because this is the time to
Oh, you
do
mean
it.
the whole, okay.
Anybody, is everyone okay with 5:30 on Thursdays?
Still take your yoga.
I try.
Sally?
Don't make it as much of that as we should, yeah.
We could make it a little early. That'd be-
I'm at yoga. It makes it so easy.
Oh, okay. Everyone else, it's okay?
You know,
It's okay.
Okay.
You sure?
Then,
It's like 5.
oh, Louis? you have a
But-
question?
Deal.
I did circulate, I hope everybody got it, a review that I prepared about cyanobacteria. Which I would, if it's tedious to read, but I think it's a good resource for the meeting next week. Prior to Charlie giving the presentation about the process for identification and validation.
And
So
would you like to
excellent.
speak
No,
about it?
yeah,
Do you want to speak next time?
I'd love to.
Okay.
But
Are you away?
I may be like driving at that time.
Oh,
Depends whether I leave on Thursday or Friday morning.
so if you're home, do you
If I'm
want?
home, I'm happy to do it,
All right.
even if I'm here.
Do you know Charlie?
Yeah, sure.
And you've talked to him about this?
We've talked a lot about, about the eutrophication of the lake. So my interest is more in the microbial ecology. His is more in the hydrology, in the technical aspects of the nature of the lake from a geologic standpoint.
Well,
So we've talked a little bit about it. I have some ideas related to how you can rapidly, because you can find cyanobacteria, but they're not always toxic.
yeah.
And the timing is the assay for the toxin, right? So they have a mechanism, right? I think they have a microscope system, and they've been trained to identify cyanobacteria. So if there's a bloom, you can say, yeah, there's cyanobacteria here, but that doesn't mean they're toxin producing. To do that, you have to get an assay, just like a blood test, done at a laboratory. And then the question is, who does that? Is it the state or do you just send it to there's a lab in Connecticut? There are labs around the area that do the assays and they're not that expensive. So the whole process because it's a big deal. If you're shutting down the lake, waiting
Very
to
big
find
deal.
out
Very big deal.
whether there's a toxin, the mechanism for identification, the protocol should be as rapid as possible.
Well, he's gonna want to talk to us
Yeah,
next
he
week.
will.
I hope you'll be here
I will try.
or Zoom in or.
Yeah, no,
something.
I will do that. I've talked to him a little bit about it because in that document that I gave you, there's references to what the state, this is a problem, this is a global problem. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel on how to deal with these things. But the state is very general. And it leaves a lot to the towns to decide what to do. And that's what creates the dynamic and the problem because it's resource intensive. Laurel Lake is dealing with the same thing, Onada, Pontoos. So how do you get these resources
Yeah.
allocated? So
Okay.
you can do these things quickly.
Seems to me you should be here when Charlie is
Yeah,
presenting.
I will,
You're a resource that we would need to help
Yeah.
I
evaluate.
will do everything.
I mean, could we then move the presentation to the subsequent meeting if you can't be here?
It may make sense to try to do, because September is the critical time for the balloons. So you'd like to
Right.
have something, at least
In place.
something general in place, or at least thought through. I'll talk to Charlie.
Good.
Okay, and
for
will you-
that.
When will you know when you're traveling?
It's part of the reason I haven't been here is a sort of family medical stuff.
Oh, okay.
So,
No, that's
um,
personal.
so it depends, stuff.
I had a couple of questions.
But I will, if I'm not here, I'll talk to Charlie anyway
Okay.
about what, so, because that's a big deal
Fingers
for you
crossed.
guys. Yeah.
Go ahead.
On the dog thing,
Yeah.
are you going to invite whoever to speak to us or to?
Well, she works Monday or Wednesdays through
You want me to
Fridays.
try to work out something?
You can see if she can, like her email's on the
Gotcha.
letter.
And we can invite her to a meeting and have her speak to us and explain how it's
Mhm.
gonna work.
You know Moose, don't you?
Huh?
You know Moose.
I know Moose. I talked to Moose at the SBA.
Any other questions, concerns before we adjourn? All right. Thank you, everyone, for your service and your
And
hard work.
congratulations on your real